About a year ago, I was sitting at my kitchen table. I opened my laptop, looking through businesses for sale: laundromats, HVAC companies, car washes. Every time I found one that I was interested in, I scrolled all the way down to the asking price: $1 million, $2 million, sometimes $5 million. And almost every single time, I had this exact same thought: there was absolutely no way I could ever buy something like this. So I closed my laptop, and instantly I told myself there has to be another way. Because in my mind, anything is possible. Millionaires, private equity firms, people who already had money could do this. But can a person that works a 9 to 5 do this as well? And if so, how? Over the last year or so, something changed. The more research I did, the more books I read, the more podcasts I listened to, the more I realized money wasn't the barrier. It was understanding how people were using this thing called leverage. And this week, something happened that made me realize that the barrier may have just gotten a little bit smaller. Welcome back to Building Winners. I'm your host, Mark. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. And then for all my returning followers, welcome back. On this channel, we study successful businesses, sports organizations, investing, leadership to answer one question: what principle made this successful? And how can we apply it to our own lives? This week, the Small Business Administration announced something that didn't receive nearly as much attention as I think it deserved. Eligible borrowers can now combine SBA financing programs for up to $10 million in financing under updated rules, depending on eligibility and project structure. At first, I thought, okay, bigger loans, cool. Then I started asking a different question: why? Why would the government suddenly make it easier for qualified businesses to finance larger business projects? I actually don't think SBA is the story. I think the story is what this says about small businesses. Think about this. Small businesses create nearly half of all the private sector jobs in America. They're local, they hire local, they sponsor little league teams, they pay taxes, they communicate, they communicate with the community. They keep the community alive. But here's something that most people don't realize. Over the next decade, millions of business owners are expected to retire, and many of them don't have someone to take it over. That means profitable businesses, businesses with customers, employees, equipment, cash flow, could simply disappear. I think most people have the wrong picture of business ownership. They think if they don't invent the next Apple, they'll never own a business. If they, but that's not how many businesses are bought. They're purchased, improved, and grown. That's exactly what private equity firms do. That's exactly what many successful entrepreneurs do. They buy, they improve, they scale. The biggest barrier isn't always money. Sometimes it's simply believing ownership isn't for people like you. So, how can we apply this? Whether you ever bought a business or not, I think there are 3 lessons here. Number 1, don't assume something is impossible simply because you didn't understand it yet. Number 2, learn how capital works because access to capital changes opportunities. And finally, number 3, think like an owner. Whether you're investing, building your career, leading a team, or someday buying a business, owners ask different questions. They think differently, and eventually they make different decisions. When I closed my laptop a year ago, I thought I was looking at businesses like I never could afford. Today, I realized I was looking at opportunities I simply didn't understand yet. There's a huge difference. Maybe the biggest barrier to buying a business is still money. Or maybe it's just believing you can. Thank you for watching Building Winners. If you enjoyed this episode, consider subscribing. And before you go, I want to leave one question with you. What's one barrier in your life that might disappear if you simply understood the game better? Think about that, and I'll see you in the next episode.